Good morning and welcome to the Rehab Christian Center live Sunday morning virtual experience. I'm Dr. Talley, and it's so good to see you this morning. And certainly praying that on this great Memorial Day weekend, that you are enjoying yourself and your family and your friends, and really having an amazing, outstanding weekend. I tell you that weather was a little weird yesterday here in Carolina, and it's a little cool today. The weather's about as bipolar as some people are here in Carolina. But I tell you, it's a blessing to be here, and certainly praying that you are again off to a tremendous Sunday, and that you're having a fantastic weekend. Listen, let's go right through the channels, the networks, really quickly. I want to greet everybody. Go through the declaration. I've got a very powerful word and relevant word today. As always, that I believe will bless you and encourage you in a tremendous way. And so if you have not already, it doesn't matter what network you're on. I want you to like this video. I want you to love this video, share this video, and go ahead and start inviting people. Tag 5 people, start inviting people to tune in this morning. Again, for a very relevant word that is going to bless you, I promise you, in a tremendous, tremendous way. All right, so let's go through all the networks. Facebook, good morning to you. It's good to see you virtually, and certainly praying that God has been blessing you all week long. If you're on Facebook, do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button or hold it down and hit the love button, one of the two. And then I want you to hit that share button, share this video and this live stream to your page. Come on, I need all of you to do that right now. Share this live stream to your page. And then after you do that, I want you to hit that @ symbol, tag 5 people, and encourage them to tune in on this morning. Again, it's Memorial Day weekend, and I know people are all over the place and everybody's outside right now. I don't know. I think I might be the only person still wearing a mask in a public place, and it's awkward. But everybody's everywhere, and but certainly tag 5 people, tell them to tune in. This is going to be a very powerful word, and I cannot wait to share it with you, and so relevant to where we are today. So good morning, Facebook. Make sure you say good morning. Please say good morning in the chat area. Speak to everyone that is there, and again, it is so good to see you this morning, and thank you so much for tuning in. Instagram, good morning to you. It's good to see you virtually. Thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you that are live, those of you that are watching the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. Certainly praying that you've been having a phenomenal weekend as well. Do me a favor, hit the heart and fill it up with hearts. Let's see hearts going up the screen on Instagram. And then if you have not on Instagram already, I want you to hit that @ symbol and invite 5 people to tune in this morning. This is going to be a very powerful teaching. I promise not to keep you long. Somebody hit me up yesterday and said, Pastor, don't be all day. People out for Memorial Day. Y'all are just funny. But I promise not to be with you long, but I've got a very powerful word for you today. And this is going to make a lot of sense. And I can't wait to share it. So good morning, Instagram. Thank you for tuning in. Love this video if you have not already. Or like this video if you have not already. Hit the love button, hold it down, and then hit that @ symbol, tag 5 people, and tell them to tune in. All right, thank you so much. And YouTube, good morning to you. It's good to see you virtually. Those of you that are tuned in via YouTube, thank you so much for joining us on that network. It looks like we're connected on that network this morning. We've been having some YouTube issues the last couple of weeks, which is unlike YouTube. But thank you so much, those of you that have persevered and that are tuned in. Do me a favor, if you're on YouTube, I want you to like this video. All of you, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do that. You can find us on YouTube at TheREHABCC. That's at TheREHABCC on YouTube. You can find us there, and you can actually see a nice little archive of all of the messages, most of the messages we have spoke and taught over this last 13, 14-month period. Can't remember when we jumped onto YouTube, but you can see most of those messages. And so make sure that you go back if you want some good walking material. I know when I walk every morning and during most days, I actually put in inspirational videos and let them play while I'm walking. And so great inspirational messages that you can listen into that will empower you and inspire you. So if you have not, again, liked us on YouTube, do that. Subscribe to our channel. And then if you're on YouTube, I want you to hit that share button, and I want you to share that video and share this live feed with anybody that you know that needs a word this morning on this great Memorial Day. Listen, I'm excited. You got 30 more seconds. All of our networks, I see some of you starting to tag people. Thank you so much. All of our networks, I'm very excited to have you with us and joined in with us this morning. If you have not already, hit that like button, hit the share button, and hit the subscribe button, depending on what channel that you're on. And I need you to tune in and invite 5 people quickly. We're getting ready to get into our declaration and walk through that so that we can get right into this word. I promise you, let me take that back, because every time I promise y'all I'm not going to be long, I end up being long. It is my hope that I won't be long with you this morning, but I've got a very powerful word, one verse that I'm going to teach to you that's really going to help remind some of us of kind of where we are today and where we need to be. And it's going to encourage some of you to get some things in order to prepare for what is ahead. And so I'm excited. Can't wait to share this with you. And just grateful to have all of you with us this morning. Let's get into the declaration. You know how we do every single Sunday. We walk through the declaration. We believe in the power of the things that we say. And I want you to understand that your words have power, but certainly the energy behind your words is what really gives your words real power. And so I want you to take an opportunity to pause where you are and say this declaration with us. We go through the acronym REHAB, which is restore, evangelize, hope, alternatives, breakthroughs. We go through all of those words, and we give a declaration every single Sunday morning. And we want you to repeat these words with us, so that as we go through it, you begin to set the tone, not only for your Sunday, but you set the tone for your entire week. Because again, we know that the power of life and death is inside of what you say. And so this is going to be powerful. I'm excited to say the declaration this morning. And I want you to repeat after me as we go through it. All right. And again, as we're doing this, go ahead and feel free to tag 5 people, hit that @ tag 5 people as we go through the declaration to get them on, because right after I'm getting right into the word, and I'm not going to keep y'all long today. All right, let's do it. Restore. We declare that everything that is broken, lost, hurt, or destroyed that belongs to us and has been designed by God is restored. My faith is restored. My joy is restored. My mind is restored. Even my lost time is restored. I am no longer broken. The fact that I'm alive means I have another chance. My faith has restored me, and right now, His love is making me whole. Evangelize. Say it with me. We declare that God helped us so we can help somebody else. He loved me when I was unlovable. He changed me when I was a mess. His love lifted me when I was down. I'm not perfect, but I'm free. And anything that came for me can't keep me. Because I'm free, my circle is next. My family is saved. My friends are blessed. My plans are successful. My goals are ahead of schedule. And anything connected to me is blessed, just like me. Hope. Say it with me. We declare that everything that is missing is not lost. In Jesus, I have hope. And this hope makes me confident. It doesn't matter what happens to me or around me, I'm going to win. My relationships are winning. My goals are winning. My family is winning. My neighbor is winning. This city will win, and my row has the victory. My past is defeated, and my future is brighter today than it was yesterday. Alternatives. Say it with me. We declare that God made us different. I'm a royal child, the light of the world, and the hope of my city. I respect the past, but I don't look like what I've been through. I love the church, and my life is balanced. I love coming to church, but I like flights, boats, and vacations. My whole life is blessed. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am a lender, not a borrower. And every place I go belongs to me. Good. Let's do the last one. Breakthrough. Say it with me. Repeat after me. We declare that God has a breakthrough with our name on it. I have some challenges, but I am not defeated. No weapon formed against me can prosper. And I know that all things are working for my good. Things are not breaking down. They are about to break through. There is a breakthrough in my career. There is a breakthrough in my home. There is a breakthrough in my health. There is a breakthrough in my finances. I am here on purpose, for a purpose, and everything that went wrong is getting ready to turn around. I hope you said that with me. If you did, do me a favor, as we always do, and as we've done all through 2021. Can you believe that in 2 days we will be in the 6th month of 2021? This year is flying by. It is flying by. But do me a favor. I want you to drop in the comments right now. If you said that declaration, any parts of it, I want you to put in the comments right now. It's already done. Come on, quickly. I want you to type it in the comments. It's already done. It's already done. I'm here to tell you that everything you have declared throughout this entire year, God's still going to make it happen for you. The good news is we've got 5 months down. We've got 7 more months to go. And we've got plenty of time for God to do what he promised you in your life. Type it in the comments quickly. It's already done. God's doing it for you. He's making ways for you. He's opening doors for you. He's meeting needs in your life. And I'm excited about that. And I hope you are as well. That God is not only responding to your prayers, but he's answering your prayers exactly the way you scripted them out. And you ought to be excited about that. I know I'm excited about the answered prayers that are on the way, the ones that he's already done. And I'm just grateful. I have an attitude of gratitude this morning. I'm realizing that the way to get more out of God is to simply be grateful for what he's already done. I want you to type it in the comments if you haven't already. It's already done. It's already done. God's moving on your behalf. He's working in your favor. And I want you to be excited about that on today. Listen, let's get into it. Let's get into the word. Today, I am talking from the subject, preparing the house for company. Preparing the house for company. And I'm going to be in Psalms chapter 122 and one verse. And that's verse number 1. Psalms 122. Verse number 1, the New Living Translation. The subject is preparing the house for company. Type it in the comments. Those people that will tune in and watch the replay, they can see everything that we share today as you record notes there. But I've got a very unique yet relevant word for you that's going to make a whole lot of sense. And I just get so tickled sometimes by how things come to me. But I can't wait to share this. And this is going to be good and powerful. And so I want you to type it in the comments, preparing the house for company. If you have not already, I need you to tag 5 people, tell them to tune in, and let's jump right into this word. I am in Psalms chapter 122, verse number 1. All right. New Living Translations, that translation, that's Psalms chapter 122, verse number 1, New Living Translation. And that's what we're talking about, preparing the house for company. Now, I want to give you some context before we go here, and this is very important to me because everybody's heard this verse, Psalms 122 verse 1. Everybody's heard the verse. I was glad when they said to me, "Let us go to the house of the Lord." Right? We know that verse, and I'm going to kind of break that down. But before I do, I want to talk about something that happened in the news and really make this make sense to you as we talk about preparing the house for company. We are very mindful of the fact that if you look around, the outside is starting to open up again. And you have not only businesses, you have churches, you have sporting events, you have stores that are starting to open back up and move towards a more full capacity. And not only that, they're doing things, such as, slowly removing mask mandates. And again, I said this earlier, my son and I were at my daughter's gymnastics practice Friday. There had to have been 300 people in that building. And there were 3 people with a mask on. It was me, my son, and one other lady. And we were just all laughing and looking at each other, the oddballs that we were, because nobody else had on a mask but us. And, but the lady and I really got tickled with one another because she said something profound, and it's something that I've believed from day one. She said, we trusted people to wash their hands and they ain't wash them. Now you're asking me to trust people to not wear a mask if they had a shot, and I still don't trust them. And that's exactly how I feel. And we just laughed and got so tickled there. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. There were 5 instances of disrespect that really bothered me this week. And I had no idea of how those instances would really connect with the word today. But I want to talk about them quickly. There were 5 instances of disrespect this week that happened. And they happened in the NBA, the National Basketball Association, Professional Basketball League. There were 5 instances of disrespect that happened that I want to just mention quickly and really make it connect to this word. And it's going to make sense. Y'all know how I do. And so the first instance was with, I think, Russell Westbrook. He plays for the Washington Wizards. And he was leaving the court. He had just got injured. And on the floor, he was leaving the court. And a fan in the crowd, as he's walking through the tunnel, a fan takes his popcorn and dumps it down this tunnel thing. And part of it lands on Russell Westbrook. Of course, he's got security around him. And, Russell Westbrook snapped. He snapped, and he was trying his best to get away from security to get up in the stands and get the guy. Now, if you know anything about basketball and basketball history, there was an incident years ago with Ron Artest where they were playing in Detroit, and a fan from the stands threw a drink bottle that hit Ron Artest, and Ron Artest lost it. He got off the bench. He just went into the stands and grabbed the first person that looked guilty and started swinging away. And he was suspended for the rest of the year. He and another player, I can't remember the player's name, suspended for the rest of the year. And so, this isn't something that we have not seen before in professional sports, but it was a case, another unfortunate case of a fan just going too far and not realizing, that buying tickets gives you access to a seat, but it doesn't give you a right to change your behavior. You got to behave like a professional, even though you bought seats, and it doesn't matter what you paid for. So that's one incident that happened. Second incident that happened, Trae Young, who plays for the Atlanta Hawks, was playing for them against the Knicks in New York. And he was having a really good game. And the cameras caught this eventually, because they didn't catch it during the game, but they caught it afterwards, and it became a big story. So if you were watching the game on the front row, 50 Cent was on the front row. 50 Cent, I can't remember the actor. There's an actor or somebody that was sitting next to him. And, they were just, I can't remember if they were standing or sitting, but a guy behind 50 Cent, while Trae Young was probably 2 feet from 50 Cent, a guy behind 50 Cent spit out on Trae Young. He spit on him. And the spit went by 50 Cent and landed on Trae Young. And at the time, you could tell that 50 Cent didn't even know what was going on. He just kind of looked like, what was that? And nobody really caught this until the cameras caught it after the fact. And then it became a huge story. That guy got kicked out. I think his tickets for the rest of the year may have gotten canceled. I'm not quite sure. Though, if you ask me, the guy that threw the popcorn, and especially the person that spit, should never be able to come to another professional game ever. That's my 2 cents. You can say what you want to say about me. You can talk about me. You can talk about family. You can do whatever you want, but you're not going to spit on me. Okay? I'm saved, but you ain't going to spit on me. All right? And I don't care what y'all think about that or how y'all feel about that. But that's one thing you just ain't going to do. And so I can just imagine that if 50 Cent knew what was going on, that probably could have been a very ugly situation, much uglier situation. But again, instance two, a fan, second row, spits out on the court on a player. And just one of the nastiest, most egregious things you can say. That's the second instance of disrespect I saw. And then there were 3 other instances of disrespect that came at one player and his family. Ja Morant, who is the point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies. And this is, y'all bear with me, I'm setting the foundation for where I'm going. This is going to make sense in just a second. Ja Morant, who is the point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, was out on the court in Utah. And he's on the court in Utah. And while he's out there, he's hearing a lot of racial slurs. Actually, there were 6 instances, and I didn't even think about this one with Kyrie Irving in Boston, though that wasn't an instance as much as him bringing something to wear. Anyway, Ja Morant's out on the court in Utah, and he's talking about all of the racial slurs that he's hearing out in Utah while he's out there playing in the land of the Mormons. And he's getting all of these racial slurs from fans saying all these nasty things to him while he's out there. Again, as a former athlete, you get used to people saying stuff. I've been in that spot, not obviously on that level, but even as a teenager, we went through all of that stuff, and you grow a skin, unfortunately, to be able to handle a lot of those things that are hurled at you. It doesn't make it right, but as an athlete, you are just mentally trained to be able to handle those things, and so. He talked about it, just how just rude and how outrageously rude the crowd was during this game. That's instance 3, but instance 4 and 5 is worse. His parents were in the crowd. His mom and dad were in the crowd, and his dad told the media about a comment that another fan told him that in essence said, we hope we don't find you with something around your neck kind of deal. Right, he's in the crowd. He's there to support his son, and fans are in the seats threatening, things like nooses and go hang them and do all of this stuff, right? And so he's in the crowd hearing this, and as if that's not bad enough, his wife is sitting next to him, and his wife starts getting sexually harassed, verbally sexually harassed by fans who are telling her what they gonna do to her. This is all happening at an NBA game this week while their son is on the court being brutally disrespected. Now, you got a player being called all kinds of names, N-words, all kinds of stuff. Parents in the stands being assaulted by people. This is all in the news. I'm not making this up. Being assaulted by people. You've got a player that got popcorn thrown on him. You got another player who received the ultimate disrespect, and that player was spit on by another fan. You had all of this happening this week, and it reminded me of something. And I want to say this. People were in quarantine, and they coming out worse than what they were before. This is where it's about to get good. It made me realize that the quarantine and this whole COVID thing that we've gone through didn't make people better. In fact, some people are coming out of quarantine worse than what they were before. And we see proof of it. You would think that as outside opens, people would be nicer. Think about all the lives that were lost. Think about all the people who lost their lives over this last 13, 14 months. You would think coming outside, people would be kinder to each other. I've been in the grocery store and people, been anxious to go, and I've just, kindly let people go in front. Why? Because I'm just grateful to be in the grocery store. There was a time, remember, folks were scared to go to the grocery store. So you would think coming outside and having some of the restrictions, loosen, being able to go out in open spots and be able to take your mask off, especially if you've got shots, you would think you would be kinder to people. And no, this week, as the outside is opening and the games are letting people in through the gates, what you're discovering is that people are as rude today as they were 13, 14 months ago, if not worse. And I'm not even talking about flights, right? We like flights, boats, and vacations. Have you all seen the news stories about the flights? There was a flight attendant on a flight who had one of her teeth knocked out by a lady who did not want to wear her mask on the plane. So much so that she started fighting the flight attendant on the plane while her husband watched. Now, Pastor, what this got to do with what you're talking about? I was glad when they said to me, let's go into the house of the Lord. It's got a lot to do with something. Let me tell y'all something. Churches are opening back up. Our church is going, she did. She lost 2 teeth. Our church is going to be opening up. But let me tell y'all something that hit me like a sack of bricks. Our society struggles with how to treat people. And you would think that after this COVID thing that we've gone through, people would come back outside knowing how to act. And I'm here to tell you that the quarantine didn't change everybody. It didn't. The quarantine didn't change everybody. In fact, not only did it not change everybody, let's take it further. It ain't changed a lot of believers either. Some of y'all was mean before the quarantine. Some of y'all still mean. Good morning, Nick. There you go. It took me some time. I can lay a foundation. Some of y'all was mean before you got the shot. Some of you got the shot and you still mean. And so what it really reminded me of is this. I saw folk getting spit on this week. I saw folks getting in fights on the airplane. I saw folks getting popcorn thrown at them in sports events. And I started thinking about the church. And I said, I wonder if people in church got nicer over the last 13, 14 months. Because you would think that if you are still living and you survived COVID, and some of us had it, didn't even know we had it. But you would think that if you survived COVID, that when you get back into the house of the Lord, watch, you're going to be glad that you were there. And this thing really, I know was the Lord, because the analogy fits so perfect. As outside is opening up, I am discovering that our society struggles with how to treat people. And the reality is nobody controls you like you. I want you to put that in the comments. Nobody controls you, has the ability to control you like you. The powerful thing about self-control is that when it comes to self-control, you're always in control. It ain't nobody else's responsibility. And so I want to, share this with you. Years ago, 2-3 years ago, I introduced something to Rehab called REHABWORKS, WORKS, REHABWORKS. And so you see it in a lot of our hashtags, and people, sometimes wonder, what does REHABWORKS mean? But WORKS, WORKS, is an acronym that stands for Worship, Outreach, Restore, Kindness, and Service. And I remember sharing this with the church 2-3 years ago, as we were really turning a corner to try to culturally, as a church, ensure that the environment was such that when people came in, regardless of the condition that they came in, regardless of whether or not you liked them or didn't, that we were all prepared to treat people right. I've said this before. Church ain't about a whole bunch of jumping and shouting, and that's great. We do some of that too. At the end of the day, church should be the nicest place you ever go to. It should be the nicest environment you ever walk in. And let's face it, most of us, Monday through Saturday, deal with enough stuff in our personal lives that church needs to be the last place that we come to where people spiritually spit on us. where people spiritually throw popcorn on us. Y'all not listening to me. Where people spiritually hurl negative things to us. It ought to be the last place. And so what happened this week was really a reminder. I really heard the Lord speaking to me, about just making sure that the house is prepared for company when the house opens again. Because the last thing you want is for people to walk in the building and forget how to treat other people. So I'm going to give you 3 things to know about treating other people. Y'all, am I too practical for y'all? Do I get on y'all's nerves? I feel like sometimes I do. And I hate that because I'm one of those people, if I feel like I'm getting on your nerves, I probably keep doing what I'm doing. That's so bad. Y'all pray for me. I need to be delivered. And I think I got a shopping demon. This is so random. But I really think I got a shopping demon. Amazon has been at my house and UPS and FedEx has been at my house, I don't know, about 9, 10, 11, 12 times this week. And I think I got a shopping demon. I need to be delivered, but I don't even know if I want to be delivered. But that's a different conversation. 3 things you need to know about treating people. 3 things you need to know about treating other people. I want to give those things to you right now. And let's walk through this. If you have not already, I need you to like this video, share this video. I'm going to give you these 3 things, and then I'm going to dissect Psalms 122, verse 1. And then we're going to be done. But again, I hope the foundation made sense. Outside is opening back up. People are coming out. And what I've discovered is that the pandemic didn't make folk nicer. It made them meaner. The pandemic didn't make people more kind and considerate of other people. It actually seems like it's made them less considerate and less kind. And so this is a good reminder for all of us that as outside opens, as you go back to work, as you go back to church, as you go back to wherever you go, there are 3 things I want you to remember about treating people. Okay? Number 1, you ready? It's this: words matter. I want you to record that. Words matter. Words matter. Number 1, words matter. This is the first thing I want you to remember. Again, I'm giving you 3 things to remember about treating people. Words matter. What you say gives insight into the condition of your heart. This is so important. What you say to anybody gives insight into the condition of your heart. Right? We say this in church. You've heard this in church before. Let the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. O Lord, my strength, my redeemer. It's a phrase that we repeat, and a lot of people don't even really realize the power of that. And that is the connection between what we say and what is really in our heart, right? And so when it comes to treating people and handling other people, understand that your lifestyle changes when your words consistently change. As you change your life, your words should change with them. Your words should change with them. As your demeanor changes, as your posture changes, as growth happens in your life, growth should be reflected in the things that you say to other people. It should be reflective in the way in which you interact, in the way in which you interact with other people. It should be reflective in those things. Why? Because words, you can't say you love God, or for that matter, even love people, and you don't know how to talk to them. You don't know how to properly communicate with them. Words absolutely matter, right? And so I want to challenge all of you that when you have properly positioned yourself to grow and develop and to mature spiritually, emotionally, whatever kind of lead you want to put on there, that eventually that growth should impact the things you say. It should impact the words that come out of your mouth. I'm here to tell you, anything that anybody says out of their mouth is always something that is rooted in their heart. Anything that anybody says out of their mouth, I don't care the circumstances, it doesn't matter. Anything that anybody says out of their mouth is always a reflection of what is rooted in their heart. And it doesn't matter the circumstance. They can be drunk, they can be high, they can be mad, they can be whatever. Anything you say always is a reflection of what is in your heart. In fact, I would go further to say that if you're mad, drunk, high, or angry, that's the best time to listen to people. Now, I know some of y'all ain't never had nothing to drink before, and that's fine. God bless you. But I would even go as far to say as when people get drunk or get high or get mad, they really tell you what they really think. They really tell you how they really feel. And so you've got to be careful, because as you're on this growth trajectory, as you are growing in your life and developing in your life and attempting to become everything that you have been designed to be, understand that what comes out of your mouth is a reflection of what's in your heart, which is why people who have the most self-control are people who can control their tongue, right? The Bible talks about this, that the tongue, being one of the smallest members of our body, is one of the hardest things to control. Why? Because it is such a reflection of what our spirit is like. And so you're going to know you're growing. You're going to know you're maturing when you are able to control your words. All right. I want to challenge all of you this week to put some intentional effort behind controlling what you say. I know this is maybe too practical for some of you, but I hope you're really taking notes and applying this. Don't let circumstances impact how you talk to people. Don't let what people do to you impact how you talk to people. Don't let how people handle you, treat you, mistreat you, what life throws at you. Don't let those things impact how you handle other people. If you can control your words, you can control your life. Don't ever forget that. Record it. If you can control your words, you can control your life. If you can control your words, you have the automatic power to control your life. And some people, their lives are out of control because their mouths are out of control, right? There is a time and a place for everything. And I'm preaching to myself too. I'll be honest with you. I'm teaching to myself too. Because, you know, those of you that have tuned in and know me know that my mouth can be real ratchet sometimes. Pastor can be completely unfiltered, just say it like he feel it, like he think it. And sometimes it's great and y'all just get a kick out of it. And sometimes pastor just be out there. All right. And it's something that even I've had to work on, because sometimes you can't even give it the way it comes to you, because everybody can't handle the way it comes to you. And this is whether you're doing a presentation or you're talking to somebody and letting them know how you feel. I've discovered that everybody can't handle the words the way they come to you. And so real growth and real maturity is being able to manage the words that come out of your mouth and manage it in a way so that your words don't get the best of you. Does that make sense? All right. And so if you can control your words, you can control your life. And I want all of you to spend some time this week intentionally working on ways to be able to manage what comes out of your mouth. All right. That's number one. That's the first thing I want you to know about treating other people. Here's the second thing I want you to know about treating other people. You ready? Attitude sets the tone. Attitude sets the tone. If number one is words matter, number two is attitude sets the tone. Attitude sets the tone. It is your attitude that sets the tone for how people receive you and really how people perceive your ability of treating them, right? It's more than what you do for others. And it also includes the manner in which you do it. Some people think, oh, well, just because, you know, some people think that if they say something nice, then, you know, they use nice words and that's all that matters. No, I would go as far to say that how you say what you say is probably more important than what you say. How you say what you say is probably more important than what you say itself. Ever had somebody apologize to you? And when they apologized, it was like, sorry. Now they said sorry. They were like, I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry. Let me tell you something. The words I'm sorry mean nothing if the tone with the words are not right. Right? If the tone with your words don't align with the intent and the meaning behind your words, then your words lose luster. They lose strength because the tone isn't right. And this is where attitude comes in. See, I've discovered that people who are just overly attitudinal, who's spitting on folks, throwing popcorn, hurling negative, nasty words, people who are attitudinal are either one of three things. They're either hurt. In other words, hurt people hurt people. So when you hurt, it is natural sometimes to lash out at other people until you resolve your hurt. So they're either hurt, they're either bitter. Life made them mad. They're annoyed about what hurt them. They ain't got over stuff that happened in their past. And because they don't like their life, they don't want anybody else to like their life. So they're either hurt, they're either bitter, or they're either guilty. Right? Because I've also discovered that people who are outwardly inconsistent are reflecting an internal struggle. Did y'all hear what I said? People who are outwardly inconsistent are oftentimes people who have an internal struggle. Some people can't be inconsistent with you because inside they ain't consistent with themselves. Some people can't be consistent with how they treat you and handle you because inside they not in agreement with themselves. One day they like where they are, the next day they don't. 1 minute they satisfied where they are. An hour later they want to pack up and move to Alaska. Like they have so much inconsistency going on inside of them and so much internal struggle going on inside of them that it's impossible for them to be consistent with you, right? And so I've discovered that people become attitudinal when they're hurt or when they're bitter or when they're angry or when they're a combination of all of these things. And so you've got to be careful. As again, we're opening up back outside. You're going back to work. You're going back around your family, your friends. You're going back to church. You got to make sure that you watch your attitude. Your attitude matters more than your words, more than what you do for people. I've shared this with Rehab, and we laugh. And my mama, Lord knows, makes some of the best hot dogs with homemade chili and slaw. Some of the best hot dogs. And I've told Rehab this so many times that I know they know what example I'm about to say. Listen, I don't even want you making my hot dog if you got an attitude. I don't want my attitude. I don't want my hot dog to look like an attitude hot dog. You're just throwing the chili on there any kind of way. You're throwing the slaw on there any kind of way. You're just slapping it down on the plate. No, if you're going to fix my hot dog like that, don't fix it. Don't fix it. Your attitude impacts everything you do, and it impacts how people receive you. So I've discovered that you can be nice to people. You can give away food. Churches give away food. And I've really hit Rehab upside the head with this. You can give away food. You can help people, give away clothes. You can do all of that stuff. But if your attitude is bad in the line, then none of that stuff matters. I don't want an attitudinal hot dog, Michelle. I don't. None of that matters, right? It is the attitude behind what you do that helps people to be able to receive what you do. If you want to be well received, fix your attitude. I want y'all to type this in the comments. If you want to be well received, check your attitude. Check your attitude. You ain't got to have a lot of money. You can have the right attitude and people will receive you. You don't have to have a lot of connections. You can have the right attitude and doors will find you. You don't have to have a lot of contacts. I was sharing this with somebody this week that was coaching, who was trying to make some career moves. And I don't, Dr. Talley, I don't have a lot of, you don't need a lot of, you need the right attitude. You need some good documents. You need some good information to sell yourself, but you need the right attitude. When you got the right attitude, good opportunities find you. Good open doors find you. So if you want to be well received, check your attitude. As outside is opening, make sure your attitude is intact. And remember, you got a lot to be grateful for. All right. Here's the third thing I want you to remember about treating other people. Y'all ready? Third thing I want you to remember. So number one was words matter. Number two, attitude sets the tone. Here's the third thing. You ready? Demeanor can be your enemy. Your demeanor can be your enemy. I want you to record this. I hope this is helping y'all making sense. Told y'all I was going to make it make sense. Your demeanor can be your enemy. Your demeanor, your posture can be your greatest enemy. Your demeanor, your posture can be your greatest enemy. What are you talking about, Pastor? Your posture, your demeanor, your energy, we can see that on you, is a reflection of your spirit. I did a video this week on the law of attraction, and man, I had a blast, and I can't wait to do some follow-ups. I may do a few follow-ups this week on my personal YouTube channel. But I said something on that video that I know annoys church people, because a lot of church people hear the word energy and they think demonic. Like, we believers, we don't believe in energy. Look, listen, you can use the word energy and spirit interchangeably. It's the same thing. When you look at somebody, you can tell when their spirit is off. You can tell where their energy is off by looking at their posture and their demeanor, right? You can see, sometimes you can just see that stuff on people, right? And so I'm here to say to you that your posture, your demeanor is a reflection of your spirit. It's a reflection of your energy. And when your energy is off, your posture will be off. When your energy is off, your demeanor will be off. And it will tell on you regardless of how much you try to smile through it. I miss the older saints. Mother Brenda, I miss you ladies. Mother Doris, so tremendously. Can't wait to see you again in an environment where I can hug you and not have to, have 15 feet. I can't wait to see you all again because it's one thing that I loved about the older members. One of the things about the older members is an older member, they can read your spirit like it ain't nothing. Like when your energy is off, your spirit, the older saints used to be able to just pull you to the side and be like, honey, sweetheart, young man, whatever you are, something ain't right with your spirit. Go ahead and fix that. They could just read it on you. Why? Because your spirit will tell on you. It will absolutely tell on you. And so we have to be careful to be sure that we guard our demeanor. Now, especially in the context of serving other people or interacting with other people, this doesn't imply that people are always right. Other people are always right. You're always wrong. This is why I don't like the phrase the customer is always right. The customer ain't always right. A lot of times the customer is dead wrong. I was in a store. I don't know why I keep getting all these situations. I was in a store recently, and this lady really embarrassed me. I was embarrassed for her because she was arguing about the price of an item that she had just bought. But the problem is the item was in the wrong place. So she picked it up off the shelf. And you know how people can put clothes, you can look at clothes and you don't put it back where you found it. So you put it in another place. Well, this lady found this pair of pants in another place, and the pants weren't supposed to be there. And you could look clear as day on the tag to see what the sale price was for the pants, and it wasn't involved in this extra 20% off sale that was taking place. And so the cashier, God bless her heart, sweet young lady, was trying her best to explain, ma'am, I understand what you're saying. I know you got the pants from where you got them, but I'm just trying to say to you that they're in the wrong place. And if you look at the tag here, it shows what this price point is for the pants and where they should have been. They should have been over a few aisles over, and somebody probably moved it over there. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. And she's just going up. It don't make sense. If I found them on the rack with the sale, I should get them on sale. And it don't make, see, this is why people don't like coming to stores. And I'm just in the line like, ma'am, it's not this lady's fault that the pants were in the wrong place. 1, 2, you can read. So if you can read, just look on the tag and you will notice that these pants, you ain't getting an extra 20% off on these pants. And it's not that lady's fault. 3, she has kindly explained to you that sometimes these things happen. And not only that, she apologized for something she really didn't have to apologize for. But this lady's going on and on and on. Don't make no sense. People, false app. She even said it was false advertisement. And I'm just like, Lord Jesus, help us. I just want to get out of this store. So it's a reminder of this. No, customers ain't always right, but nobody can control you like you. Kudos to this young lady. I don't remember her name. Don't remember what it was on her badge. But kudos to this young lady because it was a reminder that 1, customers ain't always right. But at the end of the day, nobody can control you like you. You can still control you. Even when people are wrong, even when customers are wrong, even when your coworkers are wrong, even when your family is wrong, even when church members are wrong, when y'all walk in some of these buildings and folks' attitude still as bad today as it was 14 months ago. None of that should be able to control your attitude. None of that should be able to control your self-control. None of that should be able to control your humility and your posture and your demeanor. And so understand that when your spirit is off, or when your energy is off and not healed, your exterior will be impacted. We'll see your frowns. We'll see your attitude. Sometimes your attitude will spill into your words and what you say and what you do. But we can see it. And so understand that God wants you to walk and serve in a spirit of humility. This COVID situation that we have experienced, if nothing else, should have made some of us a little bit more humble. Some of us, whether it was COVID or personal life experiences, have gone through things that you would be crazy to come out of this arrogant. You would be crazy to come out of this with a bad attitude and a bad demeanor and disposition and posture. So something just would not add up if this season that we've all gone through did not put some more humility on your life. And so humility is more than the look. It should be a lifestyle. It should be a reflection of your spirit. It should be a reflection of what's inside of you. And understand that when you walk in humility, you spend less time pointing out the flaws in other people, and you spend more time admitting and working on the flaws that's on the inside of you. Did y'all hear what I said? When you are operating in humility, y'all tag 5 people if you haven't already, because I'm getting ready to walk through this verse and then I'm done. When you are walking through humility, you spend less time pointing out the flaws in other people, and you spend more time trying to identify the flaws in yourself so you can correct them and be the best you can be. Why? Because you recognize that when you correct these internal flaws, it impacts your demeanor. It impacts your energy. And some of you, your energy is off, not because you're bad people. Your energy is off because you're spending too much time outward and not enough time inward. You're spending too much time focusing on what's going on outside of you and not enough time focusing on the things that are going on inside of you. This is why David said, create in me a clean heart, not my enemies, not my friends, my family, the people I'm connected to, those I'm in relationship with, not my coworkers, not my fellow churchmen. No, he said, create inside of me a clean heart and renew within inside of me every single day the right spirit. Your prayer every single day should be for God to give you a clean heart and to give you the right spirit. You don't have to be perfect, but he needs to give you a clean heart and the right spirit. If he does that, you're going to be on your way to being everything you've been designed to be. And more than that, you're going to be on your way to being the reflection to other people of how you treat people, how you handle people. And some people just not handling people well because what's on the inside of them has not been corrected, right? And so understand this. It's easier to point out flaws in other people. But the challenge is, do you have the humility to embrace what's going on inside of you, correct what's going on inside of you, so that when a customer is wrong, you don't attack them. You can be humble, you can be nice, you can be kind, and you can be everything that God called you to be and more. And then they can see a reflection of the light of who you are. I hate it for this young lady that was at the store because she was being nice, and this lady was just as rude as she could be. And I'm gonna say this, and this is probably just so terrible. Go back to my mouth example, not control, but I'm gonna just say it anyway. I even hate when this situation is one of us. Now I'm gonna just say it. Y'all ain't gotta like it. I don't care. But I hate it worse when it's one of us in the store showing off and we completely wrong. I can't stand it. I just can't stand it. So she's just going off. And God bless the little young lady. The young girl couldn't have been no more about 17, 18. God bless her. If that, maybe 16 soaking wet. God bless her. She was just as kind and nice. The lady finally gave in and said, well, just ring them up anyway. I'm gonna just pay full price anyway and just act like y'all ain't make this mistake. And the young lady was like, yes, ma'am. She took the jeans and she scanned them. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, your total is 40 something. And the lady's going through her wallet and she getting her money and she just slapping her bills on the table. And I'm just like, Jesus, just somebody just take me out of here. Please let the rapture come. Maybe the rapture can stop this foolishness. She's slapping her money on the table. She's still going in and was dead wrong. And the young lady couldn't have been no more than 16, 17, 18, sitting there picks her money up off the thing, just turns to the counter, punches the thing, the register opens, she puts in the money, she gives her the change, she gives her the receipt. She says, "Have a great day, ma'am." And I sat there and said, "You're going to win. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you want to do for your future. You're going to win." So the lady goes on, and there was another person in front of us, and then it was me. And when I get up to the young lady, you could tell she was still bothered by it. She was young. The lady made a whole scene in the store. And I said to her, as I put my things on the counter, I made a sarcastic comment as only I can. I said to her, "I found these in the right place, and I'm gonna pay what the tag says." And she started laughing. And I said, "Listen, I don't know you, but you handled this so good, and I'm very proud of you. And we need more people like you in customer service. Listen, y'all, fix your demeanor, fix your demeanor, your attitude, fix your energy and your spirit. It's one thing to come off on people wrong. It's another thing to come off on people wrong, and you got a bad attitude, and you wrong about what you're coming off on them on, right? Y'all fix that so that, again, as outside begins to open up, people begin to handle people and treat others with the respect and the decency that we all deserve. All right. So look at this. Psalms 122, verse number 1. Is this blessing anybody? Is it making sense? I told you I'm gonna make it make sense. New Living Translation. Psalms 122, verse 1. New Living Translation. I love making the abstract make sense. Look at this. Look at this. Psalms 122, verse 1. Says, "I was glad when they said to me, 'Let us go to the house of the Lord.'" Again, we're talking about what is this going to look like when outside opens up, and seeing all this stuff that's happening in these sports arenas, and how rude fans are and how rude they are on airplanes, and fighting flight attendants and all of this foolishness. Again, just being a reminder that the quarantine didn't change people. People are just as mean today as they were 14 months ago, 15 months ago. All this death around us has not changed people. Some people are more rude today than they've ever been in their lives. And it's sad and it's unfortunate. And I feel like I'm just a guy standing on the rooftop screaming out a message that nobody wants to hear. But I'm just saying to you that when church opens, when work opens, when whatever opens, make sure that when you come into the house, you're glad. I was glad. Listen again. I'll say it again. I was glad. Church is the last place you should go to be mad, sad, or unhappy. When the door is open, it's the last place you ought to be mad. It's the last place you ought to be attitudinal. It's the last place you ought to be sad. It's the last place you ought to be unhappy. It's the last place. We all got things going on in our lives. We all have things that we're up against. But understand that it's easy to be glad about serving God when God has kept you. If God kept you through this quarantine season and you're able to walk in another church building, or walk back into your job, or walk back into a place of normalcy, in your family, in your homes, wherever you go, vacations, if you're able to do that, and you're able to do it and still be healthy and not die and not get sick, listen, you have a reason to be glad. You don't have no reason to be mad. None of us have a reason to be out here with an attitude in public, considering the last 13, 14 months of our lives. None of us have a right to be that way. And so coming to God's house is the same way, right? When you come, you ought to be glad. When you come, you ought to do what Psalms 100 says. Psalms 100 says, make a joyful noise to the Lord. Not a mad noise, not an angry one, not a cut in your eyes noise, but make a joyful noise. Why? Because we all have a lot to be grateful for. I want you to put it in the comments right now. We all have a lot to be grateful for. I know this is an elementary word for y'all, for some of y'all, but it's a powerful one. We all have a lot to be grateful for. When you get back to work, when you get back to normalcy, whenever that happens, make sure you walk in the building like you grateful to be there, like you got a lot to be grateful for. Don't you dare walk back into your job and you still blessed to have a job, considering all the people who lost their job. You still blessed to have a job. Don't you dare walk back in that job. I don't care if you don't like your supervisor. I don't care if you don't like the people. Don't you dare walk back in that job with an attitude. Don't do it. We all got a lot to be grateful for. You walk back in church. Don't you dare walk back in church with that same sour mouth that you used to have before the quarantine. Don't you dare walk back in that church with that saying, I don't care if you got 32 teeth or 12. You better smile. Why? Because we all got a lot to be grateful for. We all have a lot to be thankful for. Things may not be perfect in your life, but you're living. There are millions of people that did not live. You're living. You're breathing. You have the opportunity to move back towards normalcy. You have a lot to be grateful for. Be grateful for it. All right? Now, I was glad. Look at the next part of it. When they said to me, if you're glad about God, this is important, you're going to tell somebody about him, which means when you come back outside, when you go back to normalcy, work, whatever, you're going to be willing to be a witness to other people. You're going to be willing to be a witness to other people. Because one of the things that gratitude does is gratitude positions you to be a witness to others, to express to others your gratefulness, to express to others the things that have gone well for you, the great things that have happened to you, which means when you're excited about your own life, you're going to want to tell that up to somebody else to encourage somebody else. So this really speaks to, when they said to me, really speaks to your ability to be a positive influence on other people. Right? So when you go back to work and outside is opening back up, you don't want to be negative Nancy. You don't want to be popcorn Paul. You don't want to be Sammy Spit. Okay? You want to be a positive influence on the people you work with, a positive influence on the people in your family, positive influence on the people in your church, positive influence on the people in your gym, positive influence on your people in your clubs and your organization. You want to be a positive influence on these people. And the way you do it is by showing gratitude through your words, right? Letting the things that you're grateful for also spill into your testimony to other people. Some of y'all, when you come back to church, that you have no excuse not to invite somebody to church now. No excuse. None. You have survived 14, going on 15 months of this virus stuff that we've been in. And you have no reason not to invite somebody to church. So I don't care if you just invite them to virtual church. Well, pastor ain't going to come. That's fine. Invite them to tune in online. That's fine. But you have no reason not to invite them. Why? Because when you are really grateful for the things God's done for you, then you're going to share that gratitude with other people. You're going to share the source of gratitude with other people. Don't y'all dare come out of this quarantine and not give God credit for bringing you out. I'm going to say it again. If you make it out of this quarantine, because I believe we're several months. And this is just me. It's just me. But I think when you take everything, when you consider, the shots, everybody doesn't have them. When you consider flu season that will be coming back in September, when you consider public skepticism when it comes to the mask, I still think we are probably 2022 before we have a society where nobody has to wear a mask at all ever. Right? I think you're still going to see variations of mask wearing and different types of variations. Okay. You don't have to like it. That's just my little humble opinion based on the research that's out there, the credible stuff. But let me tell you something. I don't care when you can stop wearing your mask. You would be crazy not to give God credit for bringing you out of what he's brought you out of in this quarantine season. You'd be crazy not to give him credit. God is the only person that sustained you. He's the only person that kept you. He's the only person that kept you alive. He's the only person that kept your family. And even if you experience loss, he kept you. Right? And so we got to be glad when we get back outside. Right? Whether it's the house of the Lord or the house of your employment. You got to be glad when they say to you, let's go back outside. Be glad. Be grateful. Operate in gratitude because God did it for us. Right? What's the third part? I was glad when they said to me, let us go. Which means connected to your desire to serve God should be a desire to serve with somebody else. Again, connected to your desire to serve God, connected to your desire to be back outside and do these things should be your desire to do it with somebody else. And again, we do that by checking our words, our attitude, our demeanor, our posture, right? We do it by making sure that when we come out, we're glad that we are operating in humility and gratefulness. Right? That we're nicer today than we were 14, 15 months ago. This is important because again, and I don't want y'all, if y'all don't remember nothing I said on this broadcast, I want you to remember this point right here. Type it, print it out, put it on your refrigerator. I don't care. I want you to remember what I'm about to tell you right now. And don't you ever forget it. Your greatest level of service. I don't care what you do. I don't care if this is for a church, if this is for your job, if this is for your family. your friends, your spouse, your mates, whatever. Your greatest level of service is your witness to someone else. Your greatest level of service is how you witness to someone else. Your greatest level of service is how you witness to someone else. It ain't what you do for them. It's not the fish you got on the back of your car. It ain't the stickers, bumper stickers you got on your shirt. It ain't none of that. Your greatest level of service is how you witness to someone else. What do you mean, Pastor, by how I witness? It is by how I carry myself to others. It is by the witness that others receive by my life. Because you can shout, speak in tongues, but if you still spitting on folk and throwing popcorn, we're not going to be able to receive your tongues because of how you behave. Your greatest witness is always going to be your behavior. Are y'all listening to me? Your greatest level of service is going to be your witness. It is going to be your behavior. And so when you come back to the house, to the church house, to the workhouse, to the family house, to the vacation house, Pastor supposed to be on the plane last week. Pastor was so annoyed. I ain't gonna lie. Pastor was very annoyed. Pastor's still kind of annoyed and still butthole hurt a little bit because my passport did not come on time and my renewal. And Pastor was really upset. But let me tell you something. When I go on this trip in a couple of weeks, I'm not about to be treating people any kind of way when I see them on the plane because I got to wear a mask. Or, because I got to wait a little bit longer in the TSA line. No, I'm going to be glad that they said unto me, let us go to this other country. I'm going to be glad when they said unto me, is this making sense, y'all? You ain't never heard Psalms 122 talk like this. I'm going to be glad when they said unto me, let us get on this plane and go to this green water. Are y'all listening? I'm going to be glad. Why? Because I've got a heart of gratitude. I know what I've gone through the last 14, 15 months. I know what other people have gone through. Waiting a little bit longer in the line ain't going to hurt nobody. It ain't. We gonna eventually get there. If I got to wear this mask and I'm sweating under the mask, I'm going to wear it. And when I get to the pool, I'm throwing the mask in the water. Okay? But how you treat people matters, guys. And your greatest, again, level of service is going to be your witness. Jesus says, if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto me. And what he's speaking of is how we act, the things that we do to make him visible in the earth. And how do we make him visible in the earth? It ain't that painting of that white guy you got on your wall. That ain't it. It ain't the fish that you got on the back of your car. That ain't it. It's not walking around with, y'all, they still wear them WWJD bracelets. I had a lady cuss me out one time. She had a WWJD bracelet on. I guess what Jesus would do is cuss. They still wear them WWJD bracelets. Wearing a WWJD bracelet ain't your greatest witness in lifting Jesus up. You know what your witness is? Your witness is how you treat people. Your witness is how you handle people. Watch this. Not just the people you like. Oh, come on, Zion. Your greatest witness is not just how you handle the people you like. It's especially how you handle the people you can't stand. That's your greatest level of witness. And so I'm saying this to y'all, that when it says, if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto me. What he's saying is how we make him visible on the earth is really how we will attract more people to him, right? Speaking in tongues is nice if that's what you do. Running around the church is nice if that's what you do. Getting a shout and a cry and a dance and a yell and wearing white is nice if that's what you do. But the reality is you lift them up by how you treat people. Your witness is the greatest tool of lifting people up. And sometimes people won't even know you saved because you ain't got no fish. You ain't got no bracelet on. They gonna know you saved by how you treat people. They gonna know you. I don't know that young lady that worked that cash register that day, but I know this. If she ain't never spoke in tongues a day in her life, if she has never fallen out in church a day in her life, I'll take 50 people like her any day. Because the ability to have the self-control when somebody has cut the pure fool in your line and they was flat wrong and you kept it together, that is showing a witness of Jesus Christ in your life. So again, your greatest level of service is how you witness to others. And how we witness to others in the greatest way is how we act. It's our behavior. Here's the last part of that verse. I was glad when they said to me, let us go. The last part is to the house of the Lord. I want you to remember this about church, and this is important. I want you to remember this about church. Church is designed to do three things, and I'm done. It's designed to cover, to protect, and to prepare. Church is designed to cover, it's designed to protect, it's designed to prepare. As you're preparing to get back into your buildings, your places of worship, as you're preparing to go back and worship out with people, remember this, that church is designed to cover, to protect, and to prepare. When you come to church, you should feel covered. You shouldn't feel like you left out high to dry because you got issues, you got challenges, you got problems. You don't dress like everybody. No. Church is designed to cover you. The church is designed to protect you. The church should be a place where you should feel safe. Even if you don't see things the way people see them, even if you don't dress the way other people dress, even if you shout off beat and you clap off beat, doesn't matter. Church should be a place that protects you. And finally, church should be a place that prepares you. Prepares you for what? Prepares you for life. Prepares you for what happens Monday through Saturday. Prepares you for how you're going to have to deal with irate people. Prepares you for being that cashier at the register that's dealing with a rude customer that's rude and wrong. Church prepares you for those things, right? And the way church can do it is because you are surrounded by other witnesses, people. Rather, you're surrounded by other people who, like you, are trying to live a life of witness to other people. So again, he said, I was glad when they came to me, said unto me, let us go to the house of the Lord. The house, God's house, should cover, should protect, it should prepare, right? And so the way you prepare the house for company is to make sure that the people in the house are prepared to receive the company that's coming. So I want to say to all of you, Pastor's so crazy. This is just the way I've been blessed to give it. I want to say to all of you that have plans to come visit Rehab when Rehab opens in person. Number one, we're not going to close down the virtual format. I'm going to keep this format forever. There are people who live very far away from our ministry that are impacted positively every single week by our ministry. I'm going to keep this format. I will always teach to you every week. I enjoy teaching to you. I might enjoy teaching to you online more than I enjoy teaching in person. I ain't kidding you. I really enjoy the relaxed nature of this environment. So this is not going to go away. I make you, those of you that are tuned in virtually, that promise. But those of you that are going to be coming to the face-to-face format, let me just say this loud and clear. Before you come back to Rehab, make sure you understand that it's critically important that your attitude is together. It is critically important that your demeanor and posture is together. It is critically important that you don't just speak in tongues and roll around the floor, but that you know how to talk to people. Oh, y'all quiet on this good. Y'all see how Pastor getting y'all together? It is critically important that you have the kind of demeanor that when people come in the house, they feel covered. They feel protected. Oh, y'all not talking to me here. I love y'all more, Sandy. I've never met you a day in my life. I know I'm going to meet you soon, and I can't wait. I absolutely mean that. There's so many people I've never even met in person that have been impacted by this virtual environment. I promise you it's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. Even if y'all have to fly in for Pastor's appreciation thing, y'all just come on in, get tickets, and come on, Pastor feed all day. We're going to make it happen. But I mean that. Don't y'all dare, for those of you that's coming face to face, if your attitude ain't in check, go find another church. I'm going to say this again. Your attitude ain't in check, especially those of you that are coming back. I'm not talking about new members. Those of you that are coming back, or people that's coming first, your attitude ain't check, go find another church. Because it's been 14, 15, 16 months it's going to be before we open the door. And there's no reason why your attitude should be the same. There's no reason why your demeanor should be the same. Your posture should be the same. Pastor is crazy. You ain't never heard another pastor tell you to go find another church. Well, you just met one. I'm so serious. When the doors open, make sure you come with the right posture and the right demeanor and disposition so that everybody in the house can feel covered. Everybody in the house can feel protected. Everybody in the house can feel prepared to fight all of these devils we have to fight in our everyday life. But more than that, so that the house the church house, the workhouse, your personal house, whatever house you're in, so that it is prepared to receive visitors. And guests. All pastors doing this morning is a little bit of house cleaning. And I'm going to probably do some more of this in the coming weeks. Just a little bit of house cleaning and a little house prepping. Why? Because I don't want nobody to walk in my personal house if the house dirty. Do y'all? I don't want nobody coming by. In fact, I keep my house clean all the time, just in case I have a surprise visitor. Because see, some of y'all only clean when you know people coming. You take the socks and you just slide them under your bed. You know people coming, so you only clean when people come. No, be ye also ready. I keep my house clean because I don't know when I'm going to have visitors. I don't know when I'm going to have guests. I don't know how people just hit me up, be like, yo, Zeb, I want to stop by real quick. I don't know. So I keep my house clean. And so just call this a little bit of house cleaning. Because we want to make sure that when the doors open, that the house is prepared to receive visitors. That it's prepared to receive guests. And the way we do it is by checking our words, checking our attitude, checking our disposition and our demeanor, making sure our energy is good, right? Again, this don't just apply to the church house. This applies to your job. You want people at your job to start acting right? Check your words, check your attitude, check your demeanor and disposition. Because a kind answer will always turn away wrath. People can be acting a pure fool around you, but when you got a kind and gentle spirit, it will challenge them to change what they're doing. You want to see people act better? You act better. You want to see people come off better? You come off better. You want to see people change how they talk? You change how you talk. That's how it works. Right? And so I want to challenge all of you to prepare your houses individually, your church houses, your work houses, whatever. Prepare these things for visit. As outside is opening, y'all don't be out here being rude and fighting folk because they ain't wearing no mask. No, just keep your mask on and keep it moving, man. It ain't worth it. And let's remember that if nothing else, this quarantine season has taught us we got a lot to be thankful for. Man, listen, I don't care how bad of a shape your life might be in right now, how you might feel your life is in right now. Let me tell you something. You got a lot to be grateful for. You have a lot to be thankful for. I know I do. Things aren't perfect. Things aren't where I've imagined them to be or hope they would be in certain areas of my life. They're not. I can be candid and transparent and say that. But let me tell you something. In the middle of all of that, I still got a lot to be thankful for. I still got a lot to be thankful for. I still have a lot to be grateful for. And I hope you're carrying the same posture around with you as you're going back outside, as you're going on vacation, as you're going around other people, as you're coming back out. Don't be negative Nancy on the plane that's swinging and fighting flight attendants because you don't want to wear your mask and you got your shots. Don't be these people. Treat people with respect and kindness and gentleness, and watch your witness be a reflection to somebody else that will change their life. I'm done, y'all. This bless anybody? If it did, I want you to fill it up with hearts quickly. Come on, I want to see hearts flying up the screen. This message makes sense. I told you I was going to make it make sense. This message makes sense to y'all. Listen, I'm getting ready to pray for you right now. I want you to type in your prayer request. You should see on the screen now. If you've got a prayer request, you can type it on the screen. I'm getting ready to pray for you. And not only that, if you've got a prayer request that nobody can see, you can email your prayer request to info@rehabcc.org. That's info@rehabcc.org. I'm getting ready to pray for you. I'm getting ready to pray for your life, your situation, your circumstance. But I truly hope this message really was a wake-up call for you to self-examine yourself and to realize that as we go back outside, it is important that we are glad about going, right? Type in your prayer request every single morning, 4:30 in the morning. I get up. There's only 1-2 days I don't get up at 4:30. Saturdays, I have started to sleep a little bit more on Saturdays to maybe say 5 or 5:30, a whole 30 minutes an hour, because it's a rest day and off day for me. And then Sundays, I may sleep until about 6. The other days I am up 4:30 in the morning. I pray over your prayer requests. I pray over everything concerning you. And so I want you to know I'm praying for you. And if you've got something you want me to pray for, I want you to type your prayer request in the comments right now because I want to pray for you. Come on, I'm giving you 60 seconds. I've done well on time. Pastor's proud of himself. I actually wanted to finish sooner than this, so I apologize. But if you've got a prayer request, I want you to type it in the comments right now because I want you to know that I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your family. I'm praying for your situation. I'm praying for everything concerning you. And prayer is powerful. It is prayer that has kept many of us during this last 13, 14, 15 months of our lives. And it is prayer that's going to continue to sustain us as things hopefully return to a place of normalcy in the future. And so I want you to type your prayer request in the comments right now. I am praying for you. Yes, Mother Joyce, I'm praying for you as well. Mother Joyce, Mother Doris, Mother Brenda, I miss our mothers so much. And I'm praying for you all. I'm just so grateful that God has kept you all and spared you all during this virus season. Come on, y'all. Put your prayer requests in the comments. You got 30 seconds quickly. Thank you so much, Sister Swan, for that. I appreciate that. Yes, the Suggs Harrison family, all of you. Come on, y'all. Type your prayer requests in very quickly. Dad's health, family, friends, to soften the heart of my studio owner. I'm praying for that. God's going to do that for you, my sister. And grateful for you having the boldness to type that out. Come on, y'all. I got 30 more seconds. Type your prayer requests. Family, absolutely. Miss Tiffany, good to see you. Prayers for help, healing in all aspects of my life. Come on, y'all. Type your prayer requests quickly. You got 20 seconds. I want to read them if I can see them. If not, I always go back and watch the replay, and I just watch the prayer requests. I just fast forward it there, unless it's a word that I really need to hear for myself. And that happens to be the case all the time, a lot of the time. But I fast forward it to the end so that I can see the prayer request, so that I know what I'm praying for every single day. Even on Memorial Day, I'll be up 4:30 in the morning praying over your requests. Friends, family, those of you that have lost people, absolutely. I'm praying for all of you. Praying for all of you, your family members, and those that are connected to you. Listen, connect your hands like this as a sign, a symbol of faith. I want you to clasp your hands like this as a sign, a symbol of faith right now. We're getting ready to pray for you. I'm getting ready to pray for you. I want you to pray with me. Yes, that's a powerful prayer. Better control of my emotions is a powerful prayer. I was reading an article this morning on emotional intelligence. And I want you to know that God's going to honor you for putting that out there. He's going to do that. Absolutely. When we can control our emotions, we can control how we feel. And when we can control how we feel, we can control what we experience. I'm going to say it again. When we can control our emotions, we can control how we feel. And when we learn to control how we feel, we can control what we experience. And so I am praying that God will certainly bless all of us to have a greater level of emotional control. All right. A greater level of emotional control. All right. All right. Let's pray. Y'all clasp your hands as a sign, a symbol of faith. I want you to clasp your hands as a sign, a symbol of faith. We're getting ready to pray right now. I want you to do this for me. I'm certainly praying for all of you. I see more requests coming. I'm seeing them just because I have not said them out loud. I do see them. Yes, I'm praying for all of these great prayer requests that are coming through right now. I love it. And even as I'm praying, as you're praying with me, if something comes, it's okay. Unbreak your hands and type the prayer request. I'll see it. But I want to make sure that I pray for you. Come on, clasp your hands like this as a sign, a symbol of faith. Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you today for your word, and thank you for this time of gathering you've given us. I pray, God, that something was said or done that has encouraged somebody, that has challenged somebody to understand the importance of preparing our houses to receive other people, that has challenged somebody of the to understand the importance of our witness and how our behavior is our greatest witness. God, help us all to be great witnesses of who you are. We don't need to be perfect. We understand that perfection is not a reality for us, but we do want to strive to be the best version of us that we can be. And we recognize that one way we can accomplish that is by being a great witness to other people. Help us, God, in all of our imperfections to be a great witness to others, so people might see that you live in us, that people might see that you abide in us, that there's something unique about our lives, there's something unique about who you made us to be and what you've made us to become. Help us, God, to be a great witness to others. Let the light that you placed in us shine so bright that people will not be able to deny that it is you that live inside of us. It is you that dwells inside of us. Now, God, for every prayer request that's been typed on this live broadcast, for every prayer request that's been typed on the replay, God, we speak to these requests right now and ask that you would answer the prayers of your people. Make ways as only you can. Open doors, meet needs. Answer the prayers that your people have concerning families and work conditions, healing for people who are sick, covering and protection for people that are on the go, emotional strength, emotional intelligence and stamina, God, spiritual strength, all of the prayers that have come across the line. God, we speak to these requests right now. We lift them up to you. Why? because we know you're a prayer answering God. You're a way maker. You're a miracle worker. You're a promise keeper. You're the light in the tunnel of darkness. And we believe you, God, to have the ability to answer every single prayer that we have, to meet every single need that we have, so that we can be everything you've called us to be and more. I thank you, God, for these things. I thank you for answering the prayers of your people and making a way as only you can. God, we count these things done. We believe you for them in Jesus' name. Amen. Do me a favor. I want you to type in the comments now. If you prayed with me, I want you to type in the comments right now. It is so. Quickly. It is so. If you prayed with me, I want you to put in the comments right now. It is so. It is so. Every time you say amen, you are simply saying it is so. You're saying it is done. I want you to type it in the comments now. It is so. If you prayed that prayer of faith with me, maybe you're watching live, maybe you're watching on the replay, I want you to type it in the comments now. It is so. It is so. God's answering your prayers right now. He's making a way for you. I'm believing him to do it. And I want you to trust him today like you've never trusted him before. It is so. It is so. It is so. God's a prayer answering God, and we're so grateful to him for being just that. Listen, while you're typing that, if anybody wants to be saved, if anybody wants to dedicate their life to Christ, yes, even in a virtual environment, if anybody wants to be saved, if anybody wants to dedicate their life to Christ, right now, I want you to stop what you're doing. I want to give you the opportunity to give your life back to Christ. Romans 10:9 tells us that if we confess with our mouths, if we believe with our hearts that Jesus Christ is who he is and did what he did for us, we are saved. Salvation is simply a matter of confession. It is a matter of confessing that we are not perfect, but we serve a Savior who is able to keep us, and not only keep us, but to keep us from falling. He's a powerful God. And so if you want to be saved today, I'm calling on everybody that's not perfect, but wants to put their hands or put their lives in the hands of a perfect Savior. I want you to stop what you're doing. I want you to repeat this prayer of faith with me, because right where you are on this great Memorial Day weekend, God wants to save you. Yes, he wants to save you. Might be at the beach. You might be on your patio. You might still be in your bed. God wants to save you today. And so I want to open up the opportunity right now for you to dedicate your life to Christ and to be saved. If you want to be saved, repeat this prayer of faith with me. Say it with me. I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. I have some flaws. And I even have some failures. But I do believe that Jesus Christ was born of a virgin, lived on this earth just like I'm living. He suffered, bled, and died on the cross. But 3 days later, rose again for my sins. Because he lives, I can live, and I am saved. My friends, if you prayed that prayer with me, I want to welcome you to the royal family of Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for making a commitment to give your life back to Christ so that he can continue to bless your life and make your life everything that it's been designed to be and more. Now, if you don't have a church home, especially as churches are starting to open back up, I want you to find your church home somewhere. Dedicate your life, your time, your talent, and treasures to that ministry so that you can continue to grow and develop in the faith. You need to surround yourself around other believers so that you can continue to grow and be strong and continue to see your life mature and develop around other believers who love God and also love people. If you're looking for a church home, I would even welcome you to the Rehab Christian Center. Yes, even virtually, people have been joining our ministry, and I would love to be your pastor, even in this virtual space or in the months to come in a face-to-face space. I would love to be your pastor and walk alongside you during this journey that is your spiritual growth. And so if you're looking for a church home and you want to make Rehab a part of, make Rehab your church home, just simply type in the comments membership. Just type in the comments membership, and one of our facilitators will see that comment and reach out to you and get some information from you. But we would love to welcome you to the nicest church on the planet. We're not the largest church. Don't even know once we open back up in a few months what our membership will look like. We're not the largest church, but I can tell you, we are the nicest church. It will be the nicest place you've ever stepped foot in or experienced. And that's something that I'm proud of. Why? Because we should all be glad when they said unto me, let us go to the house of the Lord. Listen, if you're looking for a church home and you want to make Rehab your home, just type membership in one of the in the comments, and one of the moderators will reach out to you and get some information from you. And we will be happy to welcome you in, even in this virtual environment on this morning. Listen, can I challenge you to give? I want to challenge you to give. If this message has blessed you, if this broadcast has blessed you, I want to challenge you to give. I'm so grateful and excited. Friday, I was able to give my tithes and sow a seed. Yes, I give to our church. I believe in giving. Yes, the preacher, the pastor, the teacher, he believes in giving. And God has really blessed my life in a tremendous way because of that. So I want to challenge all of you to give today. You can give one of three ways: via Cash App, $REHABCCGIVE. You can give through our website, www.rehabcc.org, and choose online giving. Or you can text REHABWORKS to 88202. Text REHABWORKS to 88202. You can give either one of these three ways, and I promise you God will bless you. Yes, bills and all types of expenses have continued on as even we've been in this virtual environment. But I'm so grateful for those of you that continue to give, that continue to give in a way that helps to sustain us as we move along. And so, again, I want to challenge you to give your tithes, sow an offering or a special seed today. If this message has blessed you, if our ministry has been a blessing to you, you can do it. And again, you can do it one of three ways: via Cash App, $REHABCCGIVE. That's $REHABCCGIVE. You can give through our website by visiting www.rehabcc.org. That's www.rehabcc.org. Or you can give through your cell phone by texting REHABWORKS to 88202. Text REHABWORKS to 88202. And right to your cell phone, you will see a prompt. Follow the prompt, click on the link, and you can give that way. And I promise you, as you give into this great ground, God will bless you. How? Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, running over. He's going to send people into your life to be a blessing to you because of the way you give. And I'm excited about that on today. Listen, y'all, I love y'all. I'm praying for all of you. I hope this message was as much of a blessing to you as it was to me. If it was, make sure you like this video if you have not already. Like this video, love this video. If your network will allow you to do it, share this video. Share it with 5 people. Tag 5 people. Tell them to tune in and watch this video. If they get about an hour and 10 minutes to just tune in and listen, that they will get something out of this message. I promise you today, as we are preparing our houses, all of us, for guests, for visitors. Make sure you share this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And then we can't wait to see you Tuesday for Life Study, 7:08 p.m. I recognize this is off of a holiday weekend. And so I do have a Tuesday coming up that I'm going to give off to those of you, because this is during the holidays and I give a lot of Tuesdays off. And we even actually have some vacation Sundays in place as well. We don't do it a lot, but we do it sometimes because I try to be mindful of all of our workers, especially in this virtual environment. I try to be mindful when we're face to face, but I want to especially shout out our virtual workers. We've got moderators, people who work behind the scenes, Sister Carissa and Sister Patricia, and Elder Misty, Sister Swan, who work behind the scenes. And frankly, they want to be outside like anybody else too. And it's a lot of work moderating these chats and these broadcasts, but they do it week in and week out. And so even giving them a break is important to me. And so the church has historically had 2 Sundays or a Sunday at least where we have shut down the church so people could go on vacation. This is very important for workers as well. And so I promise to work with Sister Swan to identify those dates so that people can go on vacation and do what they need to do. And feel at liberty to do that. And the good news is the virtual environment has allowed us the opportunity to pre-record. And so we can pre-record and roll tapes so that our workers can also get rest. And that's important to me. You can appreciate people, but you also need to appreciate them in a way that gives them a break as well. And we don't want anybody burned out in the name of the kingdom. That ain't God. Even Jesus rested. And I want even our workers and our fine moderators who have been working so tirelessly over the last 13, 14 months to get rest too. And so I'll be sharing those things with you in the weeks to come. But we will be here this Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. And then I'll be sharing some vacant dates that will be coming up. And I ask that you just use that time to enjoy yourself, enjoy your families. We'll probably still roll messages and have a broadcast pre-recorded for those that still want to tune in. We'll still, of course, continue to give and do what we do. But I want to be mindful that as hard as so many of you work, make sure that you rest and relax just as hard as you work, because you deserve it. And we want you to be rested and well, not just in your spirit, but also mentally and emotionally and physically. And so that's my prayer for you. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I've rambled enough. I love all of you. I'm praying for you. I'm rooting for you. Enjoy your Memorial Day tomorrow. Enjoy your time off, even if you don't do nothing but just lay back and watch TV. Enjoy your time off. Get some rest and relaxation. I'll see you Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. sharp right here at the Rehab Christian Center. All right. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by CashAPP at $ Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encouraged, enlightened, and empowered you to be better. Please tune in Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. for our life study experience. And as always, be blessed.